Hi everybody, it's Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I plan on talking about the book Six of Crows. If you guys have watched my channel previously, if you're a regular viewer here, you guys know that this was on my, I believe it was my May TBR, and I am just now finishing it, unfortunately. I have been busy lately. I have been, studying and preparing. I took a test, a certification to become a certified diabetes care and education specialist. I did take the test and passed, but unfortunately, I was kind of caught up studying for that. And then along with that, I have also been working on some home renovation projects. So it took a while to finally get around to reading this book, but I finally have, and I am going to give you my review today, let you guys know what I thought of this book. So I will just say that I think my expectations of this book were unfortunately set a little bit too high, which it seems like to be the case with a lot of books I've been reading lately. So I guess I just need to go into every book with a blank mindset. Everybody I heard talking about this book on Booktube was saying really good things about it. They had nothing but good things to say, made it sound like it was one of their favorite fantasy books, really enjoyed it. And I will say I didn't think it was bad necessarily, but I didn't think it was great either. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It's kind of just average for me. Felt like kind of a slog to get through, if I'm being honest. It took me a while to get through it. And part of that was because of the reasons I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just being busy with other things in life. But part of that was because I also found a lot of this book really, really, really boring. So I know that's kind of mean to say, but I just had a hard time getting invested in the story. I will say by the end, it took me a while. By the end I was, and I did enjoy the ending, and I did, kind of eventually get invested in the storyline and the characters, but it took me a while to get there, and I don't know if it was really, worth it, in my opinion. So if I'm rating this book, I would probably say I would give it a 3 stars. So basically what the book is about is it's about a group of, 6 criminals, I guess you could say, so to speak, and they kind of are in this crew together. The lead, or kind of the head of this crew or operation, his name is Kaz, and he gets this deal to, there's this new drug that has been invented, and this person wants him to go into this ice court that's very dangerous to get into, and he wants him to steal the person who has invented or is creating this drug. And, it's worth a lot of money, more money than he's ever seen in his entire life, and he feels he can't give up on this, or can't say no to this opportunity. So he gets a group of his crew. So there's 6 of them. Kaz is the leader, the head of the operation. There's Inej, who is, I think that's how you say your name at least, I could be saying it wrong. Inej, who is, they call her Wraith, or she's kind of, like very, sneaky, quiet, kind of like an acrobat. She's very, like nimble and can, climb places, and, a little bit kind of like a spy, I guess you could so to say. There is Nina, who is a Grisha, which is a person with magical abilities. They can, heal people, and they can also do things that aren't great. They can slow down people's heart rates, their breathing, they can kill people this way. Jesper, who is they call him a sharpshooter. He is good with a gun. He's got a good aim. He's good with his guns. There is Wylan, who is basically a son of this wealthy person, high up in society, and he's kind of been, rejected by his family, his father, and he kind of joins them because he kind of has a familiarity with this ice court. He's been there before, and so he's kind of an asset in that sense. And then there is Matthias, who they have to break out of this prison. He used to be a part of the ice court, part of like their army, I guess you could say, and, again, a valuable asset in knowing, what to expect in the kingdom, how to break through their security, things like that. So that's kind of the crew, and I will say that the book alternates between all 6 of their perspectives. which to me was very overwhelming, you know, especially when I don't know these characters yet. I'm just getting used to the storyline. I'm just getting used to the characters, their backstories, their relationships with each other. And every chapter was a new character's point of view. Now, I think if this had been done in a sequel novel, because I know the Court of Thorns and Roses series does that later on, but not in the first book, you know, not in the first couple books even. So to me, it was just a little too confusing and jarring. You know, I would have a chapter with one character and their point of view, and then the very next chapter would be another character and their point of view. And it was kind of nice to see different points of views and to kind of get to know all the characters, but it was just a little bit, I think, like I said, overwhelming and kind of confusing in the beginning. I will also say that it was a little graphic at parts, in my opinion. It's considered a young adult novel, but there is a part, and this is very gruesome. You know, I feel uncomfortable even saying it, but where Kaz, he wants information from somebody. So he's trying to get information out of this guy. He reaches into his eyeball socket and rips his eyeball out. To me, that is just gross. Like, I'm sorry, I don't really want to read that. I mean, I'm an adult and I have a strong stomach, but especially for like a teenager, there's other parts where they're, you know, fighting an army and they're snapping their necks and things like that. So, I mean, it's not too gruesome, but for a young adult novel, I thought it kind of was, if that makes sense. So I guess I wasn't the biggest fan of that. And just overall, like I said, I think I just thought it was boring. You know, it was hard for me to get into the story, you know, until the ending. Once I got to the ending, I did like it. You know, I did kind of get invested in the characters and their stories and, you know, their relationships with each other and, you know, the heist and all of that. But it just took too long to get there, in my opinion, and I didn't really think it was worth it. So like I said, overall, I think I would rate this book about a 3 stars. I did pick up Crooked Kingdom, and I do plan on giving it a try. Like I said, I think my biggest issue with Six of Crows was that it just took me too long to get invested into the characters. But I'm hoping that with Crooked Kingdom, I'm already invested in the characters enough, and I already know their backgrounds and their stories, that it will be easier for me to get through this book. The beginning won't be as, you know, much of a slog. It won't be as hard and tedious to get through because I already know the characters, I already know their backgrounds, I already know their stories. So I'm hoping that that kind of translates and, you know, this book is a little bit easier for me to get through. And I did decide to give this book a try too, just because I did hear people online saying that they thought it was better than Six of Crows. They gave it higher ratings than Six of Crows. So if I do end up liking it more and it is easier for me to get into, hopefully it'll be a little bit more of an enjoyable read. I can make another video once I'm done with this book. I probably won't read this book right away. I'll probably give it a little bit of a break. I have other books that I still want to get through. But I can make an updated video once I read this book, kind of on my general thoughts on the series and on Crooked Kingdom. If I'm just basing Six of Crows alone, I would say I didn't really think it was worth it. I didn't really, you know, feel like I got into the story as much as I would have liked, and I really don't think that it was worth the time invested that I put into it personally. But I might change my mind once I've read Crooked Kingdom. You know, this might have been all the setup, you know, for the story in Crooked Kingdom, and if I very much so enjoy Crooked Kingdom, there might be a good chance that this book was worth it, you know, because you really can't read the second book in the series without reading the first. So I'll see how it goes, like I said, once I do read that book. If you guys have read this series, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments, you know, whether you liked Crooked Kingdom more than Six of Crows, what you thought of the series overall, preferably without any spoilers for Crooked Kingdom, like I said, because I have not read it yet, but you guys can let me know what you think. If you guys like this video, you can like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Bye.